Okay, I'm going to keep this short and to the point as always. I'm going to be honest with you. Out of the positions in my portfolio, my Richard Hart tokens, PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX have been the most turbulent by far. In fact, the rest of my holdings we talk about in the private group, so check the link below if you want to join, have seemingly gone up in value a great deal with the market at large. Some are 2 to 3x already. This frustrating ecosystem has almost done the opposite. Every time we get a little bit of momentum and price appreciation, it's almost like a ticking clock until it drops back down and makes us all feel doomy and gloomy again. I get it, and it sucks. It sucks even more as these tokens make up the majority of my holdings currently, as I'm sure they do with many of you. So is it time to call things and potentially move on to other options? Let's get into what I think. But first, if you could, drop a like and subscribe. It is very much appreciated because it does help the channel grow. It helps the algorithm. And more than anything, feel free to leave some comments. I love reading them. I love seeing the engagement and getting a good sentiment read on what you guys think as well. So please don't shy away from leaving comments if you are inclined to do so. So the Richard Hart community was once built on a solid foundation of patience, vigilance, and an understanding of the benefits that delayed gratification bring to the table for those who are able to indulge in it. By simply delaying taking profits at times where your decisions are maybe driven by emotions, and instead adhering to one of the oldest mantras in investing, a Warren Buffett classic you've probably heard many times before: time in the market beats timing the market. And essentially increasing the likelihood of experiencing those dramatic returns that we're all looking for. And so for those who were in on HEX during the last bear cycle and upheld that mantra, they were heavily rewarded by quite literally thousands of X's. But the question is, have we now made the transition as a community from what was once a diamond-handed core to one of a much more short-sighted trading mentality? Well, at first glance, you would think yes. I mean, how else would price continue to be volatile while trending in literally the opposite direction of where we'd like it going, right? It's frustrating to watch. It's hard to hold. It's difficult to deal with emotionally. There seem to be very legit concerns from entities like the SEC and potential litigation. And it brings into question the trust we have in this ecosystem going forward to provide us with anywhere near the returns that we're looking for. And it's the exact same process everyone who reaps monumental rewards goes through during a damn bear market. There are 1,000,001 reasons why you're going to be turned off a project during the bear cycle. They always come out of the woodwork. Again, suck it up. No one said this was going to be easy. When you were being told to hold, that it's not easy, that it's emotional, and it's better to set it and forget it, were you not listening? I don't mean to be harsh, but if this was an easy ride, then everyone would be making huge returns. They're not. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they get shaken out at the wrong times by losing faith and playing the micro market instead of what we talk about, the macro market. Simply zoom out. Let me tell you what I think is happening. And to me, it can be fairly simple in summation. Prior to sacrifice phases, we were all riding the highs of a founder who was consistently streaming, having boasted to our faces time and time again how HEX had been killing it and price action was going crazy, with the price action to back it up. It was a bull market. Euphoria was an all-time high. New folks were being brought in, and then that positive momentum created during euphoria stage was aimed toward the sacrifice period, and everyone emotionally bought. You did too, don't lie, because they wanted to ride the next wave. Me too. I did exactly the same thing. And now a lot of those people were newer and hadn't gone through the original crucible. They hadn't become hardened to the volatility. They hadn't been through the cycle the HEX OGs went through. And so don't have the calluses to stop them making stupid moves right now. Some of those folks were even playing with large sums of money that when they take that money out, it has the ability to push price down rather a lot, at least temporarily. So what happens? We get those folks being shaken out and likely, in my opinion, learning the hard way the same lessons many of us in this ecosystem learned the last time around. And that is time is our friend. And sentiment changes dramatically when things start to pick up in the bull cycle every single time. That is when euphoria kicks in again, hard, with new people buying the same bags that you accumulated for tens of X's more than you did, hundreds of X's more than you did, thousands of X's more than you did. This is literally how this works. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't give you exact predictions on what's going to happen. But there's a reason I'm not selling. And believe me, I went in hard to this ecosystem. And right now, I'm not too phased. It would have been great to come out of the gates very, very strong and get the tens of X's that we were anticipating in advance of the bull market. That didn't happen. And yeah, it shook out a lot of people. I'm not going to be one of those people. I've gone through this too many times that I know better. And I'll tell you, if we aren't learning from past experiences and using them to our advantage, then what the hell are we doing here?